Welcome, everyone, to the Is This Love podcast. Hi, everyone. This is the show where we answer your questions and we'll navigate and traverse and climb and dive and duck under the weird and wonderful world of love and relationships. I am Francis, a.k.a. the other guy. And the woman with the greatest laugh on all of the podcasts, probably the best laugh on any podcast you'll ever listen to. It is Miss Sara Nade. Hi, Sara.
Wow. Hi.
So you may be wondering, like, why did he say that? Well, I have to edit audio for the show. And I have to isolate Sara sometimes so I can fix her audio or my audio. And sometimes it'll just be her laughing. And it's such a wholesome laugh. Like, I really love... Sara has a really great laugh, I think. And so when I hear it just by itself without me talking, because I often talk over her laughter, and it's just the laughter by itself, it's like, wow, it's a really nice laugh. So if you ever hear her laugh, if you ever make Sara laugh, you know you've done a good thing, because it's a great laugh and it should be shared with the world. So if you ever...
Wow.
Yeah. No,
that's so nice.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, it's crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just listen. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a really okay. It's very, very nice. It's very appealing to the ear. So if again, make her laugh, folks, and you'll be greatly rewarded for something awesome.
Oh, that's really awesome. That makes me feel really good.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, here our goal, hopefully, is to not only make you think, but also make you laugh a little bit, too, because we like to laugh on this show, even though we're talking about some pretty heavy topics. But, before we get started on questions, where Sara and I will serenade you into our question segment. I think if we ever make it to episode 200 or something for some weird out-of-this-world reason, we'll have to make it like the musical episode, and we have to sing the entire thing.
Oh my God. That would be so much work. Like, we'd have to write it.
I know. We'd have to write the lyrics. We'd have to write our responses ahead of time. We'd have to really think it out. But that'd be...
Yeah.
Part of me would find that really funny and kind of fun. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's 170 plus episodes away. So we have time. We have some time.
It would be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, look, we know it's been a couple weeks since Halloween, but we're recording on Halloween Day.
Yeah.
So it has been a little bit of time since then, and we're still kind of in that spirit, I think, a little bit, right? Like, we're still in the mood. I posted, like, the song I guess I would have been listening today, which is the Ghostbusters theme, as the Halloween song to listen to today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the official music video of the Ghostbusters theme song?
I didn't even know there was one.
So there's an official theme song with Ray Parker Jr. I think is the singer, and when he says "Who you gonna call?" and somebody says Ghostbusters, a bunch of 80s celebrities do cameos to say the word Ghostbusters. Oh. It's really weird, right?
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, like Chevy Chase is like randomly there saying Ghostbusters, and John Candy says,
"Oh wow!"
Yeah. So watch the original music video. It's really weird, but kind of fun.
No, I love that. I'm definitely going to watch it. I've been hearing it too. Like, the radio station I listen to likes to do. Well, God. After Thanksgiving, they play nothing but Christmas music, which is fine for like 5 minutes, but then I have to find a different station for the rest of the month. Yeah. But I think they're trying to do like a Halloween stuff. Good. So they've been playing a lot of Monster Mash and a lot of Ghostbusters. I shouldn't even put together that the Ghostbusters thing was Halloween themed. I was like, I love how much I'm hearing Ghostbusters lately. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I'm surprised there's not a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas, too, after that.
Oh.
Because that's also...
Me too. Maybe it's too...
Well, there's a song called
branded?
This Is Halloween.
I don't know.
Like,
yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're not allowed to play Disney songs on that station because
sure.
they don't want to. Maybe there's like branding rights or something. I don't know.
Some licensing thing. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that's too bad. But I've been listening to a lot of, that type of music. Another one was, of course, Thriller. I recommended Thriller a few days ago. So, you have to have that.
They actually haven't been playing that. I'm surprised because you're right. That is a Halloween song.
Somebody's Watching Me is another one, which is
I
considered.
don't think I've heard that one.
That's it has Michael Jackson in it. He's the one who sings the chorus, but oh my God, I can't remember.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about. I think maybe they did play that. Yes. Now that I am like hearing the tune behind Somebody's Watching Me, now I know what you're talking about.
Dead Man's Party was another one. Did you hear that at all? Oingo Boingo. See,
I don't know. I'd have to hear it. That's the thing is I just can't just the name of it usually isn't enough.
Well, yeah, Oingo Boingo. The main singer of that is the guy who did he's Danny Elfman, who did Batman, the Batman theme song. And
wait, Danny Elfman was a singer?
Danny Elfman is the lead singer of Oingo Boingo. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, who did Weird Science?
I didn't know he sang.
Yeah, he sings Weird Science. He sings Dead Man's Party. He sang a bunch of songs. Yeah, he had a band for many decades. He had a band.
That's so crazy.
And he sings all the vocals for Nightmare on Elm Street. He sings for Jack.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are like blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, Danny Elfman.
I know Danny Elfman. It's like all of his like
orchestrated stuff.
Composing, yeah. Like even it's like a little kid, like the music for Black Beauty, and I just like cried my eyes out, and I was like, oh my God, the music's so beautiful.
Oh yeah,
I had no idea he was also like a singer.
Oh yeah. Danny Elfman is he's a raconteur. He's done it all. So
I am just like my mind is blown right now. I'm gonna have to listen to all that.
Look at that!
All of the Nightmare on Elm Street stuff again, and just totally different now.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was some one of those Disney singers they hired to belt out all their musical songs, all their musical numbers.
He did. I don't know if he still does, but he used to do a concert here in L.A. I think because he's out here, where he would do the music live from Nightmare on Elm Street, on Nightmare Before Christmas. He would do the Nightmare Before Christmas music live, sing it with the cartoon playing in the background. So he would sing.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh my God! I would love that.
Yeah, but I think he's still doing it. If he is, I really want to go. But yeah, it's impressive. It's really good. So there you go. I've done two things today. I've complimented Sarah very much. So, and I've also blown her mind with Danny Elfman being a singer.
Yeah, I'm just. This is crazy.
Now your turn. Okay, so say something that I wouldn't know. I'm gonna put her on the spot.
I was gonna say, you really put me on the spot. Did you know that? Okay, give me a minute here.
Oh, okay. That'd be interesting if you could think of something.
Is there something that I think you don't know? Did you know there's a tiny little spider on the $1 bill?
I didn't know that. There is a tiny spider on the $1 bill. I know it's supposed to be.
I don't know if it's actually supposed to be a spider, but if you look really close, it looks like a spider.
Okay, I have a $1 bill in my pocket. I'm going to take it out. People can't see this. This is an American $1 bill.
I don't have a dollar bill.
I have a $1 bill right here. Right here, $1
okay.
bill. Where is the spider supposed to be on the $1 bill?
Okay, hold the dollar bill up to me so I can see it.
All right. This is great for the listeners because I'm holding a $1 bill
up
to Sarah.
So look at it. Look at George Washington.
Okay, I'm looking at George Washington.
Look at the one in the top corner that he's facing.
Okay, top corner he's facing.
And you see like the shape around the one, that top left like curve.
Web. Right.
See the top left curve of that shape?
Oh, yeah.
It's super duper tiny and it's sitting right at the like bottom of that little curve.
I'm going to have to wear my glasses for this one. Oh, man. Take my glasses off. I shouldn't have taken my glasses off. Sorry, guys.
It looks like just like the tiniest baby spider.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I see it.
Do you see it?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That I did not know. That's pretty crazy. That's really cool.
There you go. Not exactly a pop culture reference, but
either way, it works. You know, you learn something new every day. That's the important thing. Anyway. Wow, that was weird. I'm glad we did it because I love learning new little things like this, even if it's just obscure and weird. I love it. I'm a big fan. So there you go. Sarah's gonna listen to Ghostbusters, look at all the fun cameos, and I'm gonna look at all my dollar bills and see if I can't afford.
And I'm gonna try to get some video of Danny Elfman singing Jack Skellington.
Yeah, you should. It's out there. Oh my goodness, it's out there. Oh man, it's good. He's a good singer. Just look at Boingo Boingo too, and you'll yeah.
Oh, I can't believe he sang Weird Science.
He sang Weird Science. Yeah, that was him.
Oh man, that movie's so bad.
Oh, with Kelly LeBrock and
it aged so terribly.
Well, yeah, I mean it's an '80s movie, you know.
It's '80s.
All
it's
'80s movies. If you put it against the current zeitgeist, doesn't fit well. But if you have some fond memories of it, go watch it. I watched all of those movies late. I didn't watch any of those John Hughes movies or whatever. I didn't watch any of them, and I watched like, oh my god, maybe even like 16 Candles or something like a decade ago, and I'm like, there's boobs in this movie.
And it was rated like
PG. Yeah. But PG was weird back then, apparently. Like, if you're 13, not even 13, it's like, not even PG-13. If you're like a 10-year-old and you happen to be watching this movie, as long as you get your parent there to explain why that woman was naked in the shower, I guess, more power to you.
Because the other one is jealous of her. That's why.
Yeah. That's true.
That explains it. That explains it to prepubescent kids who are like, why am I seeing this?
Well, look, 80s movies specifically were very horny. They were very horny movies back in the day. Oh, man. There was they made a movie about a guy obsessing over a mannequin who came to life, right? I mean, come on now. Was
that just Mannequin?
Mannequin, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen that one in a long time. I think I saw it on TV as a kid.
It's interesting. It's an 80s movie, but I don't know. I like it. I still like 80s movies. I'm still fine with them. I mean, otherwise there's a lot of good 80s movies out there. Go watch Flight of the Navigator or something, which is
that's good. Yeah, I haven't sid that in a long time.
I got one for Sarah that she likes. Flight of the Navigator. Maybe if I can find some others. Did you see that's wow, you found yourself a Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, it's a good one, funny one. Better Off Dead.
They're Better Off Dead. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's like impossible to find to watch.
Oh, is it really? It's not streaming anywhere? Wow.
I don't think it's streaming anywhere.
If I can find it, I will tell you, because then
send it to me.
Then I'll send you the link.
Let me know where you see it.
Because yeah. Anyway, wow, we're all over the place today, but that's okay because you know what? It's Halloween. We have a basket, a bucket, or a bag, or something of candy right there for the children to take as they want. No questions asked.
I just hope no dogs go through the hallway and go into the chocolate I left on my door.
Oh man, don't say that.
I don't think they will. Hopefully people are keeping an eye on their dogs, especially on Halloween, and not just letting them run around and eat whatever they want.
Well, you never know sometimes. Just that leash is never short enough for some dogs. Well, look, we're having a good night because it is, again, a night of monsters. It is the All Hallows Eve. But what goes with that, look at me segueing into this. What goes with that is a book about monsters. Now, look, not everyone likes to read fictional stories about monsters. Some people don't like fiction. But
I didn't say I didn't like all fiction.
You didn't have to say anything. I wasn't hinting towards you.
I knew who you were talking about.
I mean, I was obviously talking about you, but you didn't have to say anything. You could keep that a secret.
I prefer nonfiction, but I'm excited to read your book.
tinyurl.com/monstertales, TALES, takes you to a Kickstarter. Now, the Kickstarter, I thought, man, is it gonna do well? Well, you have at least another week, and it's doing pretty well. And there's a bunch of stretch goals and all that stuff. And I want to be able to hit all of them because I want to be able to give you guys more stuff for these books One of which is apparently, which is really weird, we're going to do right now, as of the recording right now on the 31st, you can get a bookmark, you can get us doing audio commentary on our story. In other words, while you're reading.
Oh, cool.
We will tell you why we said certain things or did certain things, why we wrote parts of the story the way we did, our inspiration. While you're reading it. I guess that's the point. But yeah, so you get to hear us kind of comment as you read, and that's kind of I don't know.
Oh, you're going to get such an unfair advantage over the other authors because you're like a professional voice person.
You know what's funny is you can't listen to this right now without a script. I sound okay, right? I don't, I don't have the perfect, as you say, I don't have a perfect range of words apparently because I can't think of all the words all at the same time. But when I have a script in front of me, when I have to read it, oh man, it gets weird and very professional and much better than the podcast because it's just me reading stuff and it has. I don't know. I enjoy it. I really like doing it. I used to do it a lot back in the day. Though not so much anymore. So but there's a lot of stuff. So go check it out, please. Please, please, please. It would be so awesome if we can get to all of the amazing stretch goals. And again, you're supporting, technically you're kind of inadvertently supporting the show and you're supporting the 20 authors who have contributed, which is me. I'm one of them. So yeah, go check it out. tinyurl.com/monstertales, TALES. All right. Well, thanks for anyone who's already done it and who is thinking of doing it. Now let's get into the meat of the show, Sarah. Oh, what do you like with your potatoes? Some meat. And that is what we have right here with some questions. And we enter into the question segment. Is this love questions? What do we got, Sarah?
Okay, our first question is, one of my husband's best friends has cheated on his wife with more than one woman. My husband sees this as a major character flaw, but he thinks we need to stay out of it. I'm not close friends with her, but we all hang out on occasion, and she's nice, and in my opinion, she deserves much better. They are trying for a baby, so I feel like she should know what her husband is really like before being tied to him more permanently. But I know it would make my husband very angry if I butt into his friend's marriage. Would you tell someone if you knew they were being cheated on?
Have you ever been in this situation?
Thankfully, no.
Thankfully, no. You've never witnessed someone else cheating on somebody else?
No, I have never. I've only ever found out about like cheating after like everyone knows and like all the drama's over and like the spouse already found out, they've already figured out what they're going to do about it.
Oh wow.
So I've never had to like make any moral decisions about that.
Okay, well let's play, I guess, a little bit of make-believe then. Let's say you are found in this situation. Do you feel maybe even obligated to tell?
Oh, God. This is such a moral dilemma because morally we should prevent suffering if we can, right. And we should, like, reveal betrayals or things like that, right?
Sure.
That's the right thing to do generally, but also the risk this person would be taking is huge for maybe nothing. Like, she could end up ruining her relationships. She could do a lot of damage or even ruin her marriage, which could be really good otherwise. Mm-hmm. And this woman might already know, or she might not believe her and get angry with her, which a lot of people do when you tell them that their spouse is cheating. They don't believe you.
Right.
So, I mean, she could be imploding her life for nothing.
Sure.
Or for someone she's not friends with. So I would say if she decides it's none of her business, I don't think she should be like chastised for that. You know, this lady, if she finds out later that she knew, she could very well get mad at her. And that's, I guess that's fair, but this is a really tough thing to do. And I don't think anyone should have to like throw their relationships away to do this. However, if she really feels like she needs to tell her, something a lot of people say is find a way to do it anonymously. Like, try to cover your tracks as much as you possibly can and send her something that says, hey, just so you know, you don't know who I am, but your husband has slept with these women. The only problem with that is be prepared for your husband to come to you at some point and say, hey, did you tell someone? And then you have to decide if you're going to lie to him or if you're going to come clean then. So it's like tricky.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you. But I feel if it's this far gone, they can't be the only couple that knows it's happening, right?
Well, that's the thing, too, is it's not, it's not fully on her shoulders. And it's not like her best friend. And she's not so connected to it that she knows the whole situation. She knows whether the wife knows or not. She knows whether the wife wants to hear it or not. And yeah, other people probably know it morally, like if we're doing a moral experiment here. Yeah. She should. Okay. If we're going totally morally here and like taking out people's real like mental health problems they can suffer if they destroy their own lives, we could say, well, she should tell her. And if her husband gets mad, then he's not a good person anyways, but it's so much more complicated than that because it's, it's his friend. It's his friendship that'll be ruined. She's perfectly welcome to say, I don't like your friend and this really bothers me. And it bothers me that you don't want to say anything. But, if he's like, hey, stay out. I really want us to stay out of this. And she doesn't listen.
Right.
He might get really upset about that. And that could end up really hurting her. And maybe the friend doesn't even listen. So
yeah, there's a lot of factors involved in this situation. Like, yeah, the moral argument, obviously, as you had pointed out, and just it's just so many layers of relationships and responsibilities. I mean, I was in this situation in the sense of like I knew my best friend was cheating on his wife, like, or at least trying to. I don't know if he successfully ever did, but he actively tried, and I knew about it. He would tell me about it, and I mean, look, when you grow up with somebody, you don't really, you don't think too much of it. It happened like after we've known each other for like a decade. He started doing this stuff, so it's not something you get prepared for, especially when that becomes almost their entire personality for like a few years. Like their whole kind of like essence is like, I need to. My wife isn't given to me. I'm not getting any love from her. Like, this sucks. Everything sucks. I really just want to, sleep with this person, and actively trying to, right? Like, actively trying to do it. And again,
so not just like, whoops, a mistake happened, but like, I'm trying to make this mistake happen.
Yeah. This is him being completely frustrated in a relationship that I told him was going to be bad from the beginning. And I already told him, like, this is not a relationship you've been in. You should have probably moved on. But he's like, I'm in love. You don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, okay.
Oh, my God. What a mess.
I mean, sure. I may not know what I'm talking about, but you're now in this situation where you feel like you need to cheat on her with everyone. So,
which is, of course, true love.
Right, exactly. So, and I never told her, and part of me thought maybe she did know, maybe not. I don't know. But I never said anything. We weren't very close either. So I never felt like I was never really close with the wife. As a matter of fact, I don't know how I always felt like she never really liked me anyway, even though he and I were like inseparable for so many years. Like, we were the best of friends for a very long time. And it's just weird that, and I was like the godfather of all of his kids too, which is like the weird part.
Well, she had to be sort of okay with you then.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that we were okay to some degree, but I wasn't her style, I guess, or like, I guess we just didn't mesh well at like, anytime we spent time together, the wife and I, there wasn't much for us to talk about. There wasn't much for us to socialize over. Anyway, beside the point. But I also just never like told her like, oh, by the way, your husband is this, right? Oh, by the way.
By the way, your husband spends every waking moment trying to have sex with someone other than you.
Yeah, and telling me about it, And it's like, I guess he knew I wasn't going to say anything, and I never did. So, yay, I guess. But
yikes! What a situation for you.
Well, yeah, right. Like, I feel I valued the friendship with him more than outing him as kind of the asshole that he was. If I can, I don't know. I'm not gonna. Is that a word I can say? I don't know. But anyway, but I didn't feel like and this was the guy that ended up when I was divorcing. The moment he found out was his first thought was to contact my ex-wife and see if she was available. So like whatever, right? Like what do you do in a situation like that where I'm at my lowest and he decides to go and tap over there, right? Like, okay. So he wasn't even that great of a person to begin with anyway. So I protected a person of whom was actually pretty awful all around. And so it's like, what do you do when you find that stuff out? So I don't know. I think in this particular case, yeah, I would agree with you 100%. It's like, this might be best left. I would actually think that I would actually encourage the wife to at least say, hey, look, I know he's your best friend, but at least talk him out of it or something, or at least say, hey, if you'd rather be with somebody else, just end the marriage. Like convince him to do something that is less destructive, if anything, right? As opposed to staying in, like, instead of allowing this guy to be like, well, I'd rather cheat on my wife. It's like, well, then why are you married? Just like divorce her. You obviously don't want to be with her. You want to be with all these other people. Just get out of the relationship. And
I think it's totally legitimate to talk to her husband and be like, this is really bothering me.
Yeah.
This woman is going to have a child with him and find out at some point that he's a cheater.
Yeah.
And she's going to be stuck with him. And I know he's your friend and you want things to work out for him, but this is really unfair to her. I will say if you're going to go the route of anonymously letting her know, you might not want to bring it up so much with us.
No. Yeah.
That's a really risky route too.
Yeah.
Because like I said, there's a good chance that when the woman's husband finds out, he's going to go to everyone he told and is like, who did you tell?
Right.
And who told her? So
are we saying don't say anything? is that ultimately what we're saying? Is just don't say anything?
I don't know. Here's what I would say.
Yeah.
I would say talk to your husband about it if it's really bothering you.
Okay.
But if you're thinking, no, I need to let her know somehow, I just absolutely have to, and I don't want to get found out, then do a really good job covering your tracks and be prepared for what you're going to say when your husband confronts you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's the wrong thing to do, but maybe you can not make it more wrong by being prepared to tell him, like, yeah, I am the one who let her know, and I really covered up my tracks, so right now you're the only other person who knows I said something. Oh, and now you're in it with me. I mean, I'm not trying
That's my first thought. I was like, oh, no. This whole scheme I just prepared, you're now an accomplice.
Yeah, well, like, I don't want to lie to you, but I had to let her know somehow, and I tried to do it in a way that wouldn't hurt your friendship, but I had to let her know.
And
because what's your other option? To lie to him forever about that? I mean, that's pretty bad.
I feel like it's a powder keg just ready to blow at some point, right? Like at some point he's going to ultimately cheat on her, and ultimately it's going to be found out. It's very hard to maintain that without the other party knowing. And if the other party already knows and they get this little anonymous letter and they already know anyway and they still want to go ahead with this baby thing, then, that is her prerogative, to do. The best friend's wife can definitely live that type of life, but yeah.
Or if she doesn't believe it, then that's also her prerogative. She's free to ignore, warnings or evidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel really bad for someone who's like not yet tied to someone else that strongly, but they're about to be, and other people could stop them and be like, hey, you could be with someone who treats you with respect and doesn't betray you like a lot.
like a lot. Yeah.
Like a lot. Yeah. Potentially a whole lot.
Like a whole lot. Oh boy. A whole lot. All right.
Yeah, potentially like once or twice a week. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
No, look. I mean, we're separated enough that we can, I think, we can giggle about it a little bit. It's okay, you know.
I don't know.
It's I mean, if you don't laugh about it, I here's the thing. Sometimes you have to laugh about the insanity of some of the stuff that happens in relationships, like because it's crazy.
That's true.
We often don't take the. I know it's not the easy road. It's always the hard road, right? Breaking up a relationship, all that stuff. That's hard, right? I get it, but it's a million times easier than doing all of this, right? Doing like the different women behind his wife's back and like also trying to get his wife pregnant and like doing all this stuff. That's way harder.
Yeah.
Way more work. Right? Than just being like, you know what? I love you, but I feel like this or whatever and blah, blah. And now we have to break up, etc. And it sucks.
This is definitely more complicated than most situations I've been in.
Yeah.
I think that if she decides to just say, hey, it's none of my business, it may come back to bite her. The woman may, she may feel guilty, or the woman may come back later and be like, did you know? How could you not tell me? But it's kind of reasonable to say, if you don't want to get involved, it isn't really... The risk is just, you could consider the risk too great for possibly no one to even listen to you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I agree. I agree that sometimes the risks are way too high to take that type of a leap and know that you're going to hit the ground, on your feet. You may just fall flat in your face after just taking that immense leap of faith that you telling her that this thing is happening in her life. Yeah.
And she's almost saying this woman's relationship is more important, or this woman finding a better relationship is more important than my relationship. And the woman may be like, well, I don't want to find a better relationship.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
Like she's almost certainly going to cause a big rift or problem if she does this at all.
Yeah.
Like openly. So it's like more than just a risk. It's like almost certain that she's going to make her husband really mad. And I mean, a lot of people believe that you mind your own business when it comes to cheating.
And kind of life in general, sort of, really, right? Like, we just kind of, there's this mentality of just like, okay, look, it's happening over there. It's not hurting us. Let them kind of deal with it over there, right?
Right. I mean, it might be different if, like, she was in, like, danger, or if he was, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, she was being hurt or something, people might be like, okay, we really need to step in. Yeah. But, yeah, cheating's a tough one because it's very emotionally damaging if the person finds out.
Right. Which I still think is going to happen at some point, like, no matter what.
It probably is going to happen, yeah. And, so I don't know. It's such tough. A difficult one.
So we have obviously our advice is twofold, in which you weigh the risks. I think ultimately just weigh the risks and then go with what you feel is worth risking. Is a relationship, is your own personal relationship worth risking after he tells you not to kind of butt in, and is it worth risking their relationship if she already knows about it and doesn't care? So, be careful with that, and good luck. And I'd love to get a follow up on this and be like, by the way, this is what I did. I took Sarah's advice and I totally left an anonymous note on her windshield. Never knew where it came from. It was weird. Yeah.
Hey, it might work.
You never know. All right. What is our next query? Ooh.
Okay. The next query is, if a man breaks up with his girlfriend, what can she do to win him back?
That is the least amount of information we're going to get from the question. That's pretty
I
complicated.
know. It's like, it really depends, I'm sure, on the situation. Let's assume that he didn't dump her because she's just like
Awful. Yeah.
like absolutely the worst person ever, and he's like scared for his life, and he will never want to see her again because, yeah, she's like abusive or something. Let's assume it's not that.
Well, here's a question I have for you then.
Okay.
Do you feel it is possible? Let's reverse. I mean, let's not reverse it because it's very specific here. Girlfriend wanting to win her boyfriend back. Okay, so have you ever felt in your own personal life like you could potentially win someone back, and did you ever want to win somebody back?
Win somebody back.
Yeah, after they broke up with you. Like, did you ever feel like, oh man, I really wish I wish he didn't feel that way. I need to find a way personally to do it.
Well, I'm going to speak for the time of my life after school, since before that I can hardly remember how the moving pieces worked.
Sure,
but
sure.
I have 2 times after breakups gotten back with the person.
Oh wow, okay, there you go.
Yeah. Both times I didn't really do much of anything to win them back. Like, either I said, hey, do you want to hang out? Or they asked and I said, sure. And then either like that day after hanging out or within a couple days, we ended up getting back together. So, I didn't really have to like do anything.
Right.
And I didn't really like plan or scheme at all.
I guess the point I'm trying to make, because as you answer this, I'm going to kind of give my own thoughts on this. But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I understand that. Yeah. No scheming, no manipulation, just.
Right. I wasn't like, oh, if I put out this social media post, then, you know, with me in this outfit, it'll make him think of me in a certain way. And then, you know,
wow.
I mean, like, you know, something we wore to a concert or something, not whatever you're thinking.
Aww.
And then,
oh, now I'm disappointed. But anyway, go on. All right.
Jeez. And then, you know, or I'm going to put this sentiment out there that's like, you know, I know my true love is out there and they don't remember me, but blah, 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 or something, you know, sad and whatever. And
yeah,
hoping that it ignites a flame in them. Mm-hmm. I think all that stuff is kind of obvious anyways. So I think I feel like any attempt to manipulate an ex to like want you back is going to be obvious.
Right.
You know? Sure. I just see a lot of people trying that and it always seems really obvious to me. So I don't know. I wouldn't recommend trying to like, you know, put stuff out there to make them feel a certain way. I don't know. Maybe it works for some people.
Don't wear the thing is what we're trying to say.
Okay. Well,
or
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe you do. Maybe that works for some people. Maybe they're like, oh, I broke up with her because I just forgot what she looks like in that. Well, so now that I see it again.
It doesn't hurt, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't hurt. Like, we're not going to be mad at it or anything, is all I'm saying.
Oh, my God. Really? That would win you back?
No, I'm not saying, I didn't say it would win me back. I just said we wouldn't be mad at it, is all I'm saying. It wouldn't hurt your chances, is all I'm trying to say.
Got it. Maybe it's just not my style to put out that kind of content.
No. Well, yeah. I'm just saying. That's all I'm doing is saying. That's all I'm doing is saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe it would work. I'm under the impression that like any kind of like subtle stuff you try to do like that. I don't know. I feel like I just feel like it wouldn't work. I feel like it'd be obvious, but I don't know. I'm not a guy. I don't know if it would win a guy back. Well,
yeah. I think. Look. I actually think it's not 100%, but yeah, I think you could win a guy back. I don't see why not. It's I think, especially when you're really emotional and whatnot, it's easy to break up over stuff that isn't thought out. Sometimes people break up, or sometimes people end relationships just because emotions are just so high. They're just peaking when, because of other factors, stress at work, the state of the world or whatever. Like, all of these things kind of weigh on people differently. And for some, it leads to a point where they're like, okay, well, you know what? I can't do this anymore. This is another pressure I can't have on top of this other stuff. Sorry, we can't do this. And so when I say, like, okay, maybe you remind them those certain things, is because maybe in their head, maybe the reason behind the separation isn't simply just, oh, well, by the way, they don't have legitimate reasons. It's just, again, sometimes we do that stuff where there's just so much going on in their life that one extra thing coming from somebody who, obviously has a right to feel that way, and obviously may be upset about something or whatever, and makes that catalyst happen, to which they feel like, this is too much. I cannot do it. I'm sorry. I must go. And then, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Walk out. And then leave, right? And it's confusing, and it's disheartening, and you don't know why they did it, and again, it can be very rash, and sometimes it can be very not thought out at all. It's like, I just did it because I couldn't handle it. And yeah, you can win him back. And as a guy, I'm not kidding. Sometimes just a little bit of arousal may help, kind of like, oh, wait a minute. Well, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not ashamed to say this, because as a man, I'm not ashamed to say this. But we're not always thinking with our brains. We have other heads thinking for us, so to speak. And the rationale isn't always there. No, it's true, though. It's very true.
I know. I believe you.
It's very true. When we're attracted to somebody, you'd be surprised how much we will kind of bend ourselves backwards to make a thing happen. And if there's actual, like, emotional foundation to it outside of kind of the sexual attraction, then it's kind of it all kind of comes together. It's like a puzzle kind of making itself in front of him, to where it's like, oh, right, that is the thing. This thing that I did, very irrational. I was upset. I was angry. I don't know why I did it. I said goodbye, and I'm already missing her, right? And I'm like, okay, and oh, right, that little extra push and reminder. It's like, oh, and also I forgot how much the rest of me enjoys her. And so, I'm saying, but that's a part of what can potentially bring him back. But really, it's, again, under the assumption that it was not a well thought out, okay, reasonable. They talked to you about it. Well, this is why, because you suck or whatever, and not in the good way. And they're like, all right, so unfortunately we'll have to break up. And then that is kind of, any attempts to bring that back will actually push him further away, because he already kind of explained it rationally to you. But if it's just an emotional outburst of just irrational thought, being able to win them back is very doable, I think, because they're just being irrational, and they're just thinking with pure just the weight of the world on their heads and their shoulders. So why did you?
Well, okay.
You chortled a little bit there.
I guess if you have an emotional outburst that leads to a breakup, then just post lingerie pictures and he'll come back.
Look, I'm trying to be, I'm kidding. But
but it doesn't hurt, right?
It doesn't hurt, no. But I think, letting them, because I do think people break up that way. I mean, I could be wrong. What do you think, Sarah? Do you think people break up with that kind of irrational, just it's like they don't they just I don't know. I feel like that happens. I haven't done it personally, but I feel like it's happened to me.
I do think it happens. Yeah. I feel like if it was really just like an irrational, oh my God, in the moment I did that and I can't believe I did it, I would imagine they would try to come back within a day or two or a week and be like, I didn't mean to do that, you know?
I guess so. That's true. It'd be fairly quick to mend, I guess. So yeah, you're right about that. It wouldn't be like a month from now they're still broken up, you know.
Well,
I mean, I guess,
and you know, I don't know. It's not a good sign if your significant other can just fly off the handle and dump you.
Well, no, it's not a good sign, but also it's not a, you know, again, I don't know. I feel like we make bad decisions sometimes, and it's not. I mean, if it's frequent, then then just stop.
Yeah, I think you'd want to like make sure that wasn't going to happen again if you're going to give it another shot. Yeah. I personally think you should only try to like win someone back, like try to someone who dumped you.
Yes.
I think the only time you should try to win them back is when they had to break up with you because you were being not a good partner in some way, like a bad partner.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Not so bad as it was like abuse because, you know, you should just leave them alone if that's the case. But like, let's say you cheated or you were really not, you know, very nice to them for a long time, or you like weren't paying attention to them and giving them none of your time. And they were like, look, I've had enough of this. Right. And I'm out of here. If you can like say, I really need to work on, I know what I did wrong. Mm-hmm. It was me. I'm going to work on that. Then you might try to win them back because you're like, I actually was able to fix the thing, or I think I was able to fix the thing that broke this. And I wasn't being a good partner, and I'd love a second chance, and I think I need to like get them to, you know, see how sorry I was and that I've changed. Mm-hmm. I see this woman saying, I'm guessing this is a woman saying, how can I get my guy back? I think if that's not the case, I think if he was a really bad partner, like, why does she want to win him back? You know?
Right.
Like, if he was like, well, I'm just done with you. Bye. Or I don't want to, you know, this relationship isn't worth it to me. I'm out of here. Right. Like, why do you really want to win someone like that back? You know?
Well, we know. I think we do know that, though, right? Because we feel like we're not going to get.
I mean,
anybody
you
else.
Want to because you have the feelings, but I guess you just have to think about why you broke up. If he was like, you know, I like somebody else, so I'm breaking up with you.
Oh, well, yeah.
I just plain don't like you anymore, so I'm breaking up with you.
By the way,
I know you may really want to win them back, but I don't know if it's worth it because they don't like you that much.
I mean, look, this is the problem with. Well, first off, before I even say this, notice the difference between Sarah and my answer, by the way. Notice how we responded to this question differently. Obviously, you know where my head is at. No pun intended. But yeah, I do really love how we came with these two very different kind of scenarios into why this happened. So I do appreciate, I do love that we kind of, you know, came from it at these weird angles. But the idea of winning somebody back is such a romantic comedy thing or romantic movie thing. It's such a Hallmark movie.
Oh, the grand gesture.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a thing ingrained in media and ingrained in our pop culture that I feel it's ingrained in people as well because they see it everywhere. They see, you know, Jennifer Lopez going out there winning back, you know, Ray Fiennes in that one movie where she was a maid. I think it was Maid in Manhattan or something like that. I don't remember.
Maid in Manhattan.
I don't remember, but she played like a maid. But anyway, but there's all these movies, right, where you see either the man or the woman do something to try to win the other person back, despite the fact that obviously it wasn't a good relationship to begin with. But they paint it as something like, you know, whatever. They just paint it because that's what the movie's supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel good. And it's supposed to make you feel hopeful and like, oh, look at this. I can win my person back. And I think a lot of that is very reflective in the real world where you see people doing grand gestures and doing crazy things to win their person back.
That's kind of what I'm saying, because usually in those movies, the person who has to win someone back did something wrong, and that's why the relationship broke up. And they have to realize the error of their ways, and then they have to try to fix things. And that's what I'm saying. If the relationship broke up because you did something wrong, then yes, I think it might be worth it to try to win them back. But if they were just like, no thanks, bye, like, you're trying to win someone back who doesn't like you that much, and that's not a romantic comedy.
But it sort of is and it isn't, but they do that in which there's a third person, right, in the wings for the girl to get. Yeah. So there's always like the other guy who...
Well, right, the person they're first trying to win back is not that great, doesn't really like them that much, and they're just hopelessly in love, but then they find someone who loves them back.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what's worth it. So, yeah, I think... Yeah, if someone just was like, I'm not really into this, and they leave, then they're just not really into it, I think, you know?
Yeah. But I get why people feel that way.
Oh, I totally get why you want to. Yeah. I get this, that psychologically it is so hard to let go of that. I guess my advice then is just try to move on if you can. I mean, try not to spend all your time and energy on trying to win them back, because if they left because they just didn't love you anymore, or they were like, I want someone else, or I just don't want this. And you hadn't really done anything that wrong. It's okay if you're not perfect. Nobody is, but you hadn't like hurt them really bad. Then you might might not be compatible. And I know it hurts. I know it sucks to hear that, but I think it hurts a lot too to try to win someone back and have them reject you again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
No, that's true.
I mean, do what you want. Do what you need to do. Maybe you need to get rejected again in order to be like, okay, I'm really done with him.
It's funny you should say that. I actually do feel that way, because a lot of people are very persistent, especially nowadays, because we have this mentality that if we want something enough, we should have it. Whether we deserve it or not, we should have it because we want it a lot. The secret, right? The secret. Mm-hmm. Which if you think of it and manifest it, it's yours. Which is, I don't know how that works, but whatever, it's fine. So I think they have to fail a couple times and get rejected a few times to be like, okay, obviously this person doesn't want me. Like, I should probably move on. But it's weird because it doesn't hit the first time. It always hits maybe the second, maybe even the third time. Same thing with dating, right? Rejection, you ask the girl out, or was it mystery, right? Ask 1,000 girls out because one of them will eventually say yes to you, etc. Right? Like that's kind of the mentality and the idea. And it's like, no, you just if they are saying no to you now, you probably should, as Sarah says, kind of, recoup and move on and see if you can find someone else, or if anything, spend some time with yourself and be happy being you. Which is okay.
Definitely. I've actually heard several times I've heard people say, I'm really glad that like I reached out to my ex and they like stomped all over my heart, or were like totally rude to me, or this or that. They're like, because that's what I needed to like kick me in the pants and be like, okay, that's done. I am done chasing that person. I'm moving on with my life. Yeah. I mean, most people are like, I don't want that to happen, so I'm not even going to try. Some people are like, yeah, it sucked and it hurt really bad, but I wasn't going to stop until that happened. So, I wasn't going to give up hope until they killed the hope for me.
Yeah. Oh, God, the killing of the hope. Oh, that hurts. Oh, how dare you. Killing the hope. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. All right. And we have one last question from Anthony.
We do, from Anthony. What is your definition of tough love, and do you think there's too little or not enough of it?
Well, Interesting question. I do love. I mean, the word love is in there, so we can definitely talk about some tough love.
Can you imagine a relationship that is entirely tough love? Like, we're not in love. We're in tough love.
That's called a kink, Sarah. That's called a kink.
Yeah, but the kink is you're just brutally honest with each other.
Relationships probably work a little bit better that way. They might work a little bit better.
Some people, maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's like two super successful professionals who are just totally brutally honest with each other.
I mean, you already told me not to be when I used to be honest with the attire of my significant other. You told me not to be honest.
There's like a couple scenarios where you don't want to be.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So tough love for the most part.
I mean, maybe this type of couple is like, nope, tell me exactly how I look in clothing and I mean it.
Yeah. I know. Look, I'm learning. I'm not going to say anything about anyone's clothing. Y'all look great.
You all look amazing all the time. That's the answer.
Yeah. Anyway, tough love. Our definition. Yeah, like Sarah was saying, just being honest without considering the other person's feelings. That's really what tough love is for the most part, right? Like, you don't try to soften the blow. You don't try to be polite about it. You just tell them straight up, hey, what you're doing is bad or good. I don't think you ever use tough love for something that's good. You never say, well, that was the best thing you've ever done, person. And like, usually that was pretty awful. Why did you do that?
That's the best thing you ever did, you loser.
Oh, no. Sarah's a drill sergeant. Oh, my goodness.
I think it's tough love because you generally say it for their benefit.
Right.
Like, you actually, if you're being real about it being tough love and you're not just an a-hole and then saying that was tough love, even though it was just being a jerk. Yeah. If it actually is tough love, I think the love part is that you actually care enough about the other person that you want them to improve in some way, or you want to spare them some suffering, and you're like, okay, I know you don't want to hear this, but you need to change what you're doing, or you need to change your attitude or something. It's not just a bunch of, oh, but you're great, or right. I don't know why this keeps happening to you over and over again. It just doesn't make any sense,
Oh, the platitudes, yeah, just platitudes everywhere. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a whole basket full of platitudes so that they can seem like a good friend and then not have to have any conflict.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we have, as a society in general, don't have enough tough love. I think that if we were being more honest with each other, or at least if we cared about each other first, that'd be great. We should really care about each other first. Mm-hmm. Number one. Yeah. Which we don't do enough of. We do not care about anyone anymore, and it makes me sad. Because we used to. Well, we used to a lot. Once we start caring about each other, then I think, a little bit of tough love would work. I don't think platitudes help any, really, but again, you don't have to say they look fat in those jeans, for instance, because they don't, it's okay. You could easily just be like, hey, look, I care about you, I want you to do well, and therefore this is the thing you need to know. And I think we don't do that enough in general. But again, we don't care about everyone enough either, so let's start caring again. Let's start actually caring about the people around us and wanting them to do well, because, I miss it. We used to be cheerleaders for each other in a way. Yeah. And it was really encouraging, and we did so much with it. We went to the moon. we accomplished great feats of all sorts of different things, and I think we just need that again. So I say too little. I say not enough. So
I think there was probably a lot more tough love in the past.
I think so too.
I think it'd be great if you could give everyone an option. Like, when they're coming to you crying or having a hard time, you could be like, would you like emotional support right now, or would you like real advice?
Sarah, I'm telling you right now, no matter what I say, give me real advice, please. No, really. I trust you to give me real advice.
Yeah, you know how I can be.
Yeah. Oh, I know how you, oh man. Oh, off the air.
I can be brutally honest. I mean, not necessarily to you, but about things.
No. I hopefully I haven't done anything or said anything where you need to be brutally honest with me. I've been pretty...
I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever had to be brutally honest with you. I think I am brutally honest about my thoughts, though. Sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, we could... That's like a level $1,000 patron to hear her thoughts on the world. That is maximum page for that. That's for sure. But yeah, yeah. So there you go. I hope that answers your question, Anthony. I know that. I guess that has been weighing on your mind for you to ask that. So hopefully, either you're doling out the tough love or getting it if you need it. But yeah. We'll try to dole it out as well here when we can, without totally ripping you apart. Not you personally, but people in general. So
yeah, it's a tough line sometimes.
It is. It can be. Yeah, we want people to come back, but we also don't want to tell them like. We want to at least give them some idea of like what they're doing wrong, but we also want them to come back. So anyway.
Right.
Speaking of coming back, this guy is always welcome back because he has a corner in our show. He's the right cow left coast. And he has a corner here to ask us some questions. Sarah, what questions does he have for us tonight?
Let's see. In seeking a partner, are you seeking perfect, the love of your life, the one you're destined for? Or are you willing to compromise, the person who is good enough, the flawed person who you see as a project to improve, and have the other grow into you?
I was going to say something, but I'm not.
What were you going to say?
Rather grow into them. But anyway, moving on.
Oh my God.
Told you. Brain is elsewhere right now. Anyway.
Your brain is always there.
No, it's not. How dare you? How dare you? She's not wrong, but how dare you? Oh dear. Anyway,
Oh my God.
seeking a partner. I don't know. Are you seeking perfect there, Sarah? Are you looking for the perfect mate?
Well, of course, perfect is not possible. I think that I am looking for the love of my life. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't believe in like a single soulmate though. So it doesn't mean that if it doesn't work out with someone who I was sure was my soulmate, that means I'm done.
Right.
The one you're destined for. Again, I feel like we each have several soulmates is kind of my belief.
Okay.
Like there's several people in this world who are very, very, very compatible for us. And it would be wonderful to find one of those people. Yes, that is what I'm looking for. Am I willing to compromise? I guess that depends. If I met someone and I was like, okay, I really like a ton of things about them, but, maybe we don't quite get each other on a certain level, but everything else is amazing. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see what the situation is. I'm not sure if I would say, well, here's the thing too, is like, if in every relationship, there comes times when things aren't perfect.
Right.
And if you're like, I'm only gonna be with my soulmate, does that mean when things aren't great that you're like, well, this doesn't feel good. I could probably find, a more compatible person out there, or...
Yeah. And then you become irrational, you break up with them, and then they have to try to win you back. See? Question. See?
There you go. It was
Done.
all just a misunderstanding about soulmates. So, yeah, I don't know. That's really hard because you don't want to settle.
Well, I mean, what's the definition of settling, really? What's the definition of compromise, really? Right? Like, you're...
Exactly. Like, what's the line? Like, I know someone who's in a relationship, and they really... It seems like they don't like the person. But...
Yeah.
they're not toxic really together, I don't think. They're just kind of like normal. They're just okay.
Right.
I don't think they were like passionate about each other. I don't think they really have a lot of awesome stuff to say about each other. I think they're just like, yeah, this is okay. And
Yeah.
they don't really talk about their significant other, and they never really have anything like nothing going on with them, and they're just like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. So right. I would say that sounds like settling to me.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, I think so too.
For someone else, the line might be, I like a lot of things about him, but he's just not aggressive enough for me. I don't know. So I think I'm going to leave him and I'm going to find me, a manlier man or something.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it's like, was she being too, picky?
Right.
Yeah. Was that really settling to be with someone who was really amazing to her, but just wasn't, gonna pick a bar fight every night? Yeah, I don't know where the line is exactly.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. I understand just how this question is formed because I look at dating now and I look at online dating and I look at kind of the mentality behind dating nowadays for especially younger people of the, it's, Mr. Right now versus like Mr. Right. It's like, okay, they're good for now, but I'm certain I'll find someone better later, right? Because I have access to everyone. I have access to all of these people I would never have had access to. Whether you're male or female, you have access to dozens of people of which you can have any type of relationship with. And so we always think, well, yeah, that perfect person, it allows us the illusion that perfect person is out there. It allows us the illusion that someone out there is going to fit me just the right way. And in every shape and form, they're going to be great. And I'm never going to have to think about it again because they're the one for me. And sure, I connected with this guy over here or this girl over here. But you know what? We're not that perfect together. That's okay because the next one, when I do that search again, when I swipe right again, that guy, that perfect guy or girl is going to be that next right swipe. It's like gambling. Dating has become the greatest lottery game ever, right? Because it's free and the prize is amazing, right? The prize is absolutely awesome.
Right.
You get a girl or
the
guy.
Thing everyone wants.
Yeah. And you can keep going forever. And you could win over and over and over again, right?
That's true.
Potentially. But in reality, it doesn't, in the real world, you're never going to get the perfect match. It's just never going to happen. I mean, statistically. Yes, I know people have been together since they were in high school and they're 90 and they've been together for 70 years and it's been perfect and beautiful and wonderful. Okay, that's an exception, not the rule. The rule is look at Sara and I, right? We're both not yet, but we're at some point going to search for a new partner somewhere out there, right? And we've already experienced all these different partners in the past, and we all thought they were the one to some degree, right? At some point in our in that relationship, we thought this is it. This is the person I'm going to be with for a long time, and then it doesn't happen to work out that way. Hell, I was even with somebody I married, and it never turned into anything longer than I didn't even hit a decade with that person. So, and I thought this is it, my perfect partner. The love of my life. Never again will I need someone else. And Sarah's right. There's more than one person out there who's compatible and worth your while. So for you, right, Cal, yeah, I don't think, much like Sarah, perfect is the person of whom is most compatible with me. They are not perfect as a person. They're not perfect as an individual. They're just we connect well enough to where we can be together for a very long time, maybe indefinitely. That would be, to me, considered perfect. Are they destined? I mean, technically, I guess yes. If they're the last person I end up with, if the person I end up dying beside, then technically, I guess we were destined to be together, right? Because I didn't decide to be with anybody else. So I guess technically, yeah, I was destined to be with that person. And is it a compromise that you are in love with somebody? Is love a compromise, right? Like, you fall in love with really imperfect people all the time. We not all the time, but we fall in love with people who are not 100% amazingly perfect, but they're amazing. And so, to me at least, that's good enough. If I'm in love with them, if I find them worth loving, like genuinely loving, then yeah, that's good enough. Flaws and all, like, great, perfect. That's because, yeah, there's never going to be a moment where I'm gonna be like, yeah, X, Y, Z, whatever. They're marking off all these check marks, and they're like, yeah, they're all these things, and there she is. Mm-hmm. Unless we manufacture them ourselves,
yeah,
you're not going to find someone like that. So,
yeah, and kind of like what you're saying with people being able to keep dating now and keep trying and stuff. I think it also depends on how you view things. For one person, something can seem like a great match, like the perfect love for the rest of their life. And for another person, it might feel like settling. And the difference between the two is one person like is able to be in it for the long haul and is able to make it through tough times. And the other person has grass is greener syndrome.
Yeah.
So when things get tough, they're like, I want something else. This is not pleasant right now. And, it might be the same relationship and it might have been just as good when times were good, but depending on how the person views relationships and like how hard they're willing to work at them can make the difference between something being really wonderful and a lifelong thing and something being like, well, I bet there's something better.
Yeah. As much as I know that maybe myself, maybe that's the route I'll take, is online dating. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. But at some point, I guess when I go back out there, I'm going to use some form of way of dating. And yeah, so I'm that may be as much as it pains me to say that I still think the internet is a mistake. Because it allows for this. The internet was such a mistake. I hate that the internet exists. Part of me just hates that the internet is a thing. Because, man, does it do just crazy stuff for people. And one of which is this stupid... it's just this grass is greener syndrome, like you were saying. It's like, you're always going to think it's better. Always, because you have access to it. And the internet gives you access. When you didn't have access, and you could only pick your partner based off of the people who you interacted with on a daily basis, you didn't think about the other side because you didn't have access to the other side because you're like, well, I know everyone. Out of all the people I know, I picked this one. Like, that's it. There's no one else. So you knew, this is the one for me. So anyway, I don't know. All right. Well, I think we answered the question.
And if you couldn't find the person who was meant for you in your small group of people, you could do the video dating services.
Oh, jeez. We talked about that off the air. Oh, my God. Or did we talk about it? I don't remember talking about it.
I think we talked about it in one of the old episodes.
Oh, we talked about, oh, my God. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. Hi, my name is Jim, and
That's just what that made me think of.
I like to take long walks on the beach, and I have a dog. His name is Rover. Yeah. So anyway, ladies, he'll slick his hair back. You can just get a hold of me, and yeah, I'll be a great date for you. Wink, and then it's just gross.
Let me make your dreams come true.
Oh no!
There's always that really awkward, nerdy one.
When we used to make fun of nerds, before we used to, now that we're kind of accepting them. Yeah, when they're, when everyone was Steve Urkel. That was a great impression. That was really good. Oh my God, I can't. Oh, all right. Oh wow, that was hilarious. Anyway, Look it up. Look it up, kids. Video dating. Oh man, it's some of the best stuff you'll ever see. YouTube has them. Seriously, look it up on YouTube. You will find tons of videos.
Good.
Yeah. You did ask. I'm going to answer one brief question that you asked at the very beginning of your email, which is whether or not we dressed up for Halloween, and we are actually doing the show for Halloween. Even though I know that this is being posted on the 11th of November or whatever. So this is what we're doing. We didn't dress up. I guess we dressed up as podcasters. I think that's what Sarah and I dressed up as, because that's what we're just dressed in normal clothing. we're not wearing anything special tonight.
Nope.
No. Though, I guess maybe we'll change that for next year. I mean, it's not going to fall. We're not going to record on a Halloween.
Nobody sees us but each other.
So what? We're just getting into the spirit. My work today was like, we're all remote employees. Except, I mean, I'm sort of remote, but everyone else is remote employees, and they're like, dress up for this thing we're going to do. And it was like 5 minutes, and I'm like, we just dress up for 5 minutes of a thing, like a Zoom call. That I'm like, why do we do that? You know, I mean, I get it. We're in the spirit of the holiday, but like, why not? It'll just get us in the mood. And then we can talk more Danny Elfman, and we could talk more, like Halloween stuff. I think that'd be fun. Just to be fun. Like,
I mean, I think you and the doctor are the only people I've seen today, so.
Oh. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad.
And I wasn't going to wear a costume to the doctor.
No. But like, for instance, I mean, we're going to do a holiday episode at some point, just to get into the spirit of it. If you don't get one, but if you have an ugly sweater or something, or if you have like something holiday-y to wear, I'll wear something holiday-y as well. And we can wear a holiday thing for our holiday episodes.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular.
Anything holiday.
Yeah. Like, I have some old, like holiday, like an ugly sweater for an ugly sweater contest at work from many years ago, and like a T-shirt that has like Christmassy stuff on it that I don't wear, but I have it. I'll just wear it for the show because I'm not going to wear it anywhere else. I'm not going to wear it in public. Like, are you kidding me? I'm going to wear that in public.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to look weird in public with this weird, but yeah, well, I don't know. Just a thought. I'll throw it out there,
Okay. I don't own anything except for like a St. Patrick's Day scarf, but I will.
Well, yeah, first off, you don't celebrate Christmas, right?
I mean, I do if I know someone else who celebrates it and they want to celebrate.
So when you're in a relationship with someone who celebrates Christmas, you'll celebrate Christmas with them. Now, do you
Yeah,
celebrate?
and actually my family usually does something because like my brother-in-law is from England and Christmas is a big deal there. So there's usually a dinner.
Sure. Do you have the poppers?
Yeah. Yeah, he will get the
You'll
poppers
get the
sometimes.
And then you wear the little paper hats and stuff. Oh, man. Oh, very UK, very British. Oh, you must get him a Terry's Chocolate Orange for the holidays because that's a very holiday thing.
Oh, I love those.
Terry's Chocolate Orange, yeah, they're the best.
They're so good.
You just smash them. The only chocolate you have to throw on the ground because you have to smash. You have to smash them so you can separate the different little things.
I've never seen him buy those for himself. I've seen him buy Maltesers.
Yeah, Maltesers, fantastic.
I think.
Maltesers, yeah. I'm an Anglophile, so I like a lot of British stuff. So yeah, Maltesers are great. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll think of something. Maybe we'll do something for Hanukkah. I don't know. We'll do something though. We'll do something celebratory of holidays. Yeah, why not? I don't care. I'll get I don't celebrate, but if you do, then yeah, we'll celebrate.
Well, you can wear your Christmas thing, and I'll look for something, probably from like the dollar store.
Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, just wrap yourself up in tinsel. I'm just saying we can do something fun.
I'll just tape a Hanukkah to my shirt. I mean, a menorah.
Do you do the menorah like normally?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think maybe it technically is called a Hanukkah, but everyone just calls it a menorah.
Oh, it is a Hanukkah.
But yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. I'm remembering this from way, way, way back in the day. But yes, I do have a really nice one. Because for a long time I had a really tiny little travel one and it broke. And then I would just use like tea candles.
Well, look, it's the holidays. I celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa anyway, so it's everything.
Christmaka. Christmahana Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Christmahana Kwanzaa. Well, I think it's Hanukkah's in there twice if you do Christmahana Kwanzaa.
But yeah, how else do you do it so it sounds good?
You don't like Christmahana Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa.
Oh, I guess Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa. Well, we'll work it out. We'll work out the wording as well. Anyway, I think you know what, we're gonna wrap it up there. We haven't done a bonus episode in a while, so we're gonna do the article as a bonus episode, and as we make fun of maybe not make fun of, but give some advice on dating and the best way to message during someone on a dating app. Even though it says humor at the end of this, I see on the link. So I don't remember it being that funny, but whatever. We'll check it out. Until then, everyone, please, once again, if you can, is it tiny? Yes, tinyurl.com/monster tales. If you can, please. We have about a week left on the Kickstarter, so every little bit helps. We're trying to get it into a bunch of these cool stretch goals that allow us to give you more than just the story. You get more in-depth stuff. There's even if you want, and hopefully I'm really hoping someone will do this. One of the reward levels, if you pledge a certain amount, will have you talking to all of us, all of the authors, and you can ask us questions and have us in a discussion. But that'd be really cool. Let's just do that. It'd be like doing the Is This Love podcast with a bunch of strangers and me. That'd be kind of cool. Sarah will not be there because she didn't write. She didn't write anything in the book. But if she ever writes in a book, she can go ahead and participate. Never know. isthislovepod@gmail.com if you want to send an email like we had from the questionnaires today. If you also want to hit us up on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it's @isthislovepod. And lastly, look me up personally at AKA The Other Guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And look up Sarah on Instagram. The more people that show up on her Instagram, the more likely a cat will appear on that Instagram page. Sarah.Nade Pete. Maybe she'll take pictures of Pete or something. I don't know. Or draw Pete or something. We'll see what happens. But
oh my goodness.
You never know.
Not promising things.
Not promising anything. It may just be an empty Instagram for the rest of her days. But, I'm telling you, the more followers she gets, the more...
things to do.
She does. She's very busy. But with a bunch of awesome projects. So look out for that at sarah.nade.and.pete. You're not really going to see any of those projects, but...
Is it really that many dots?
I think it is. Isn't it?
Oh my god. Is it, or is it Serenade.and.pete?
Oh, it might be Serenade.and.pete. You might be right. I might have overdone it. Here's the thing. I don't go onto her Instagram either because she doesn't post anything. So
I'm sorry.
But follow it anyway because again, I'm trying to entice her to at least post something every once in a while. But Sarah, I'm gonna look it up because obviously I can't remember off the top of my head. So Sarah. Is it Sarah.Nade or is it just Serenade?
It's Serenade.and.pete.
I added an extra dot. Serenade.and.pete.
Sarah.Nade.and.pete.
Go to at least look at her cool profile picture because it's her art as her profile picture. Get a little cat that goes meow, or actually meow, meow. So you get to see that. Thanks everyone for listening. You guys are awesome. $1 a month at patreon.com/aka the other guy for Is This Love Pod extras and bonus episodes. So check it out there. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll talk to you all next time as we get closer to Thanksgiving, where we'll be talking about what we're thankful for. Ooh, there you go. Maybe just turkey. I don't know. All right, we'll talk to you all next time. Bye everyone.